What is dangling, guys? We are back with another budget deck build, and today we have your boy Kenny Ackerman, the Ripper. This deck is pretty crazy. It's built around one theme and one theme only, and that is to burn your rival for as much health as possible. So let's get straight into it. So we got Kenny Ackerman, the Ripper, military police brigade, 6 hand size, 31 health. With a static saying your ranged and or weapon attacks get +1 speed and +1 damage. And response, commit after your non-throw attack deals damage to a character, you draw 2 cards, or your rival loses 3 health and discards 1 card. So with this deck, we're probably most likely going for the 3 health and discarding a card, because that is the theme around this. As you can see, it's a flat 60 card deck, so we get consistently the exact things we want, and we can do exactly what we want, which is draining our rival as much health as possible. So let's get into the attacks. Let's go from lowest difficulty to highest difficulty. I think you'll also see another theme. All of our attacks are 4 difficulty or less, so we can throw out as many as possible that are getting extra stats and hopefully getting some through to drain health. But anyway, let's start with Tongue Tank, 3 difficulty, 3 low for 2. It's got a static after you play this attack, no more attacks can be played this turn, and enhance this attack gets +1 damage for each attack in your card pool. So this is just our finisher to get slam for a lot of damage, and it's already coming in with Kenny as a 4 for 3, and if we have maybe like 2 or 3 other attacks, it's coming in for a 4 for 6, which is not too bad on a 3 difficulty. And then also if it deals damage and we haven't used our character effect yet, it's going to be draining them for 3 health as well. Next we've got Toothy Bite, another 3 difficulty. This is a 1 low for 3. Blitz, you may spend 1 momentum. If you do, your rival loses 2 health. If we somehow got a momentum along the way, on an earlier turn or any other way, we're just draining our rival for 2 health. Part of the theme of this deck. Next we've got Assault Dust, 4 difficulty, 5 high for 5. With a static, flip this attack after it resolves. In Kenny, this is a 6 high for 6, which is crazy stats on a 4 difficulty. And it's ranged as well, which will also come in with a theme that you will see later on, along with all these other ranged ones. Next up we have got 2 Grin and Bear It's. This is a 4 difficulty, 4 low for 4. Blitz, you may lose 1 health. If you do, this take is +1 speed. Will most likely always be sacrificing the 1 health for a speed and damage, making this a 5 low for 5. And then with Kenny, it's a 6 low for 6, which is another crazy stats on a 4 difficulty. Then we've got 4 of Humanity's Hope. This has got a million keywords, I'm not going to read them all out. This is a 4 difficulty, 4 low for 5. In Kenny, this is just a 5 mid for 6. So yet again, crazy stats on a 4 difficulty. Next we've got Reflexive Shot, a 4 difficulty, 6 mid for 4. In Kenny, this is a 7 mid for 5. Again, crazy stats on these 4 difficulties. In Kenny. And then lastly, we've got 4 Held at Gunpoints. This is a 4 difficulty, 4 high for 5. In Kenny, this is a 6 high for 6. Again, crazy stats on the 4 difficulty. Kenny just makes all these attacks so much better. Yeah, the attacks are pretty vanilla. Just because Kenny's giving them all +1/+1, they actually become like slightly more. They don't really need too many more effects. But these other ones that have good little effects on them, like Toothy Bite, Tongue Tank, and Grin and Bear It, just little bonuses. But other than that, Kenny's making them quite fast and hard. So if you throw out multiple of them, because they're quite cheap to play, they're more than likely going to land eventually. Then let's get onto the foundations. Start with our 0 diff. So we got Foresight. This is 0 for 5. Response, after you play this card, look at the top card of your deck. This is just a filler 0. Yeah, it's just a 0 diff. You get to look at your next check if you want to keep going and to build in that turn or whatever, or stop, know your next check. And yeah, it's got another enhance, remove, reveal the top card of either player's deck. No one uses that, it's too high a cost for it. Next up is another filler, just a 0 difficulty reluctant role model. Enhanced Tenacious Flip, this take is -1 damage. We're not really going to be blocking too much with this deck. because it's doing one thing and one thing only, and that's draining your rival of health, and you're going to be killing them as quick as possible by life drain. So this is just a little extra bonus damage to make us hopefully survive an extra turn to go through another attack string. Next up, we've got 4 Confessions. This is 1 difficulty with an ability Thirst Enhance. Once per turn, your rival discards 1 card and draws 1 card. If the discarded card is not an attack, they lose 1 health. This effect cannot reduce your rival below 1 health. Goes with the theme, losing 1 health if they did not discard an attack, and it's good to get the attacks out of their hands. So that's going right on brand with theme. Next up, we've got another 1 difficulty ready to go with a response Tenacious. Flip after your rival loses health to an effect. Ready this card. So many ways to get your rival to lose health in this deck. So this card is just perfect for our long attack strings. If we commit it early on in the attack string, then maybe we get Kenny's ability off to lose health, or any of these other abilities to lose health. It's just giving us another resource to commit for our long attack strings. Next up, another 1 difficulty. We've got 4 of these. Unraveling Plans. Response Tenacious. After this foundation is stunned due to your rival's attack, this gets -1 speed. This is more just like a filler and stun hate, and maybe it allows us to potentially block 1 attack during our defensive turn, because yeah, it's not really on theme, but it's just good stun hate and it's good filler. Next up, we're moving on to our 2 difficulties. We've got In Control. This is a 2 difficulty 4 check. Enhance. Flip. The stack gets +2 or -2 speed. Good for trying to push through one of our attacks to deal damage to fire off Kenny, or if we really need to do it in a pinch, flip it for -2 speed. And it's also good because it's on a flip cost, so we can use that resource to commit later on. Then also Response. Flip after your rival makes a check to play or block with a throw attack. That check gets -2. Yeah, good if we need to push an emergency button if they've got 1 more attack that can push us over the edge, and we don't want them to pass it. That's why we've only got that as a 2 of. It's one of our only 2 ofs in this it's a foundation lineup. Next up, another 2 difficulty. It's a 2 difficulty 4 to check as well. Aerial Recon. Flip after your rival discards a card during the combat phase. Look at their hand. This is very good because we can use maybe Kenny if our first attack hits. We can get them to discard 2 cards, discard a card while they lose their health, and then we just get to look at their hand for free, know how many of these other attacks can hit, and because we've got quite a range of different attack zones, we know what attacks to throw out and when. Then it's also got another response which also works really well with Kenny again. Response once per turn, Tenacious. After your rival discards a card during the combat phase, ready this foundation. Yeah, pairs really well with Kenny's 3 health and discard a card. So yeah, that can give us another resource to continue our long attack string, which is what Kenny really likes to do. So we've got 4 of those. Next up, we've got another 4 of these. 2 difficulty, maximum viscosity. This one's a 5 check though. Response after a ranged or slam attack deals damage, your rival loses 1 health. A lot of our attacks are ranged attacks, so it's just an extra 3. If we have 4 of these on the board, and one of our ranged attacks hits, say it's like this on the end of our really long attack string, this is going to be coming in for what, like 6 damage base, and then if we haven't used Kenny, they're losing another 3, that becomes 9, and then if we've got 4 of these on the board, that becomes what, 13 damage that they've lost, or health that they've lost, just off one little measly 3 difficulty. And also the thing is, this is repeatable, so even if we like hit with this, hit with any of the other ones, like we've got that's arranged, that's arranged, that's arranged, that's arranged, that's arranged, so majority of our attacks are ranged, so if any of they really want to be blocking these, full blocking these, or else they're going to be losing health no matter what. So very on theme. Next up, we got 2 difficulty, fighting for controls, another 4 check. Response, on your rival's turn, flip after your rival makes a check to play a non-foundation card, that check gets -2. It's just another emergency button because we don't have much defense and we're not really blocking too much, so we want to try and make them fail attacks and not throw as many attacks at us as possible. Also, we've got 31 health, so we are a little bit, can take a few hits to keep what cards we want in our hands and just survive on our minimal defense. Next up, we've got 4 of Against a Tough Bunch, 2 difficulty, 5 check again. Response, remove after your unblocked attack deals damage, your rival loses 3 health. Combined with Kenny alone, yeah, if they just fully unblock an attack, it's just they're just losing 6 health just right there, along with whatever damage they take from our attack. So that's just like a crazy extra, perfectly on brand health reduction. Like this deck can just mince your opponent from just health loss. They really want to be blocking everything, but with these really low difficulty attacks, we're going to be throwing a lot, and eventually something is going to get through. They can't have an infinite amount of cards in their hand. So yeah, that's what I've got that as a 4 of. And then our last card is Eaten by the Beard Titan, another 2 difficulty. It's 5 check as well. Enhanced, Tenacious, Sacrifices to take its -3 speed. This allows us to maybe block 1 attack on our defense turn to try survive again. Yeah, another filler. But yeah, this deck is really quick one, really quick video, I hope, so it's nice and fast. Let me know if you like these quick blitz ones. I think this Kenny deck is actually going to be like really fun to play. I'm actually going to take it to my locals and see how well it actually does. Because this looks like so much fun. Even though you may not like be playing the best defense, you're just going to be like annoying your opponent by just reducing their health by so much. Like you probably lose like half of their health just off life loss. But yeah, that wraps up this video. Trying to keep it short, so it's a good one. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. It really helps. Yeah, I will see you in the next budget deck build.